Um, I just want to do a couple of exercises because this will give you something to practice this week. Okay. So hold your questions. I do want to answer them. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about, we'll do one exercise together and then one I'll give as like a homework. So when it comes to our memories, this is something I'm kind of going to pull from another month that we learned in the past. I think it was when we did reparenting, and we talked about how memories are malleable and how we perceive our past can be altered and changed. And anyone with adult children that wound up getting in contact with narcissistic family members who changed their reality can understand this. Okay, so our memories are malleable. Now, we can use that to our advantage. Okay, so for example, going to the first stage that we discussed today, which was birth to 18 months, the ability to learn how to trust as opposed to mistrust. We probably have a ton of memories that give us evidence that we cannot trust. Yes or no, right? We don't have to think very hard. Well, what happens with those memories is if we continue to play them in our mind, we are accidentally strengthening the template in our nervous system or the imprint that we cannot trust. And the brain loves to do that. You ever notice when you want to trust or you want to kind of let go of one of these things, your brain's like, no, because then this and then this and then this and da, 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 da. It's going down all the neural pathways of the years of evidence where you couldn't trust. So what we want to do, it's almost like that belief, I can't trust, or the world isn't safe, has kind of gained interest or gathered interest. It's grown, right? It started in childhood and it started as a seed and now it's huge. So we want to start paying that down a little bit. And one of the exercises that we had learned when we did reparenting was that when we reparent a memory and we kind of renegotiate that memory, then it actually changes how our amygdala reacts to that memory. And it starts allowing us to not have such a strong emotional attachment to that. So for example, when it comes to trust, you think about trust, that's a strong emotional attachment. When I was working through gaining that trust, the thought of trusting and letting go of this thought that the world isn't safe, I could feel it in my body. Like it was whatever we feel in our body is our subconscious, okay? Our subconscious beliefs. So maybe consciously I was like, I want to be safe with people. I want to trust people. And then I'm around people and all of a sudden my body feels uncomfortable. It's because the belief in my body is people aren't safe, okay? So one of the things we can do is kind of take advantage of the fact that our neural pathways can kind of be malleable. And we want to create an image that can de-escalate the beliefs or the memories that keep those beliefs alive. And so I don't know if anyone remembers, I'll explain it in yes or no in the chat box if you remember. What we did during one of our weeks, I kind of guided you to just allow yourself to think of a memory. In this case, if we're talking about trust, if you were to ask yourself, what is something that causes me to feel like I'm unsafe, or what memory causes me to feel like I can't trust? And let's just imagine you thought of that memory. Does anyone remember how when I guided certain changes, we can change the speed of the memory, we can change how we hear it, we can put our present day self in it. Does anyone remember when we did that? Yes or no in the chat box. So I know not everyone was there. Yes, I know that not everyone attended that. So I'm going to explain it and then we're going to do this exercise. And then I'm going to encourage you guys to do this week, once a day. It's not a lot. And you can do it in 5 minutes. So just to kind of explain behind it is don't do it yet. I'm going to explain the stages, then we're going to do it together. We're going to think of, first of all, I'm working on stage 1, which is trust. Okay. So if you were to ask yourself, why can't I trust? Why do I feel like I can't trust? What memory causes me to feel like I can't trust? And it doesn't necessarily have to be from a very young age. Whatever comes up, just in one sentence, jot it down. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have you guys kind of visualize it. And then we're going to change the memory a little bit. I'm going to guide that. Does anyone have any questions before we start? Yes, Sandra. So when Sandra asked, is that NLP related? So neuro linguistic programming, when we change the modalities, we change how we see it and how we feel about it.